What's up guys? So Secret Invasion just dropped and we finally get to see the focus being put on the Skrulls in the MCU. It's gonna be very interesting to see an alien invasion without an Avengers team assembled, as far as we know anyway. Skrulls may be the big aliens now, but there's plenty to find in the comics, so today I'm gonna talk about 5 that should show up in the MCU. Please know, these are not what I think are the most powerful aliens in the comics or anything like that. These are just some that I think should show up on the big screen one day. So without further ado, let's get into it. Up first we got the shi'ar. The shi'ar are a highly advanced species from the planet Chandelier. They may not look that intimidating, but don't get it twisted. These bird people are conquerors. To say that the shi'ar woke up and chose violence wouldn't be a joke in this case. They decided to create an empire that spanned an entire galaxy. It's more than just expanding to them. They believe they should marry other cultures to maintain their strength, and this can be done the easy way or the hard way. The choice is theirs. Now something like this isn't unheard of in comics or in real life, but it's like, damn, why can't we just be allies? Like we really gotta be a part of an empire just because the other decided to be Shao Kahn one day. But there's one reason I want the shi'ar to be part of the MCU. The X-Men. You see, way back when before heroes and villains and all that, the shi'ar had actually landed on Earth and met a mutant species called the Threshold. Now the Threshold were mutants, but they were basically humanity before humanity even became a thing. Now the shi'ar would do what they do best, and they attacked them, and they actually lost. But the victory was short-lived because the shi'ar got their get back. And while the shi'ar did commit a mutant massacre, it's not like they were mortal enemies with the X-Men in the modern day. Members of the shi'ar would get involved with them from time to time. They were involved in the Phoenix Saga. And you guys know Cyclops? His brother Vulcan became the shi'ar Emperor. When the X-Men finally show up in the MCU, they probably have to cover the whole X-Men versus Magneto storyline again. But once we're past that, I really hope the shi'ar show up. Up next we have Stronians. Stronians are a race of Superman-like beings from the planet Stronia. Now in its early days, Stronia was dealing with the Wraith Plague. It could have been the end of them, but the shi'ar Empire had the cure. There was just one catch: swear loyalty to the throne. And so it was. Stronia became a part of the Empire with Kalak, aka Gladiator, joining the Imperial Guard. Who's Gladiator, you may ask? Let me break it down. In Stronia, there were 10 cadets that would train for the title of Gladiator. Stronians were already strong in their own right, but becoming a gladiator would take them to the next level. It was here that Kalak would go from built regular to built different. Now the Stronians being a part of the MCU can connect to the last reason because they are a part of the shi'ar Empire, but why I really want to see them is because I want to see more heavy hitters on screen. Someone whose power is in the same category as the Hulk or Thor or Captain Marvel. Now despite their impressive power, Stronians are vulnerable to magic, certain radiation, psychic attacks, but do you want to know what their main weakness is? Their confidence. Their confidence is psionically connected to their abilities, so if Gladiator believes he can whoop your ass, he probably can. But if you were to counter him enough, maybe have a telepath attack him, or tell him he has a little dick, he would turn into Yamcha. That's the best way I can put it. But funny weakness aside, I would love to see these purple rock stars get some spotlight. Up next we got the Phalanx. The Phalanx are a techno-organic species that are hell-bent on turning everything and everyone into technology. Now the Phalanx are an alien species, but initially, no one really knew that. A man named Stephen Lang and his scientists created the Phalanx to get rid of mutants. I swear I'm not trying to bring up the X-Men this much. Now while getting rid of mutants was supposed to be their main objective, unfortunately for Stephen Lang, they had other plans. The Phalanx's whole thing is to absorb things into becoming a part of them, but they couldn't really do that with mutant DNA, so they aimed for humans. Now the X-Men whooped their ass, go figure, but the true Phalanx were still in space. The Phalanx on Earth were just a variant meant to guard the real thing. In space, they were a completely different beast. The Phalanx were around for hundreds of thousands of years, conquering planet after planet. They conquered the Kree Empire and nearly conquered the shi'ar Empire. And that's not even the worst part. Do you want to know who rules this species? Ultron. That's like LeBron James joining the Warriors. Now the Phalanx are an X-Men threat, but that doesn't have to be the case here. Ultron ruling over them opens up the possibility of him returning. Ultron in the comics is one of those guys you cannot take lightly. He was solid in Age of Ultron, but you still didn't get that, oh snap, the Earth is screwed kind of vibe like you got with Thanos. Now Ultron doesn't have to be the ruler again, but I feel like he really is essential to really showing the brutality of this species. Like really imagine if the Phalanx took over your planet. Why? Why are you doing this?
I'm over here stroking my dick.
Next up is the Katati. The Katati are a plant-like race from the planet Hala, the same planet that the Kree are from. Now back in the day, the Katati and the Kree didn't really have a relationship. They knew they existed, they just chose not to interact. And things would remain this way until the Skrulls showed up. Don't worry, this isn't bad news. They weren't dicks at this time. The Skrulls wanted to share what they had, and in exchange, they wanted loyalty. And to avoid causing conflict between the two races, the Skrulls wanted them to do a test. There would be 17 Kree and 17 Katati. The Kree had to be on the dark side of the Earth's moon, and the Katati had to be on the planetoid. Whoever accomplished the most in those areas passes the test. The Katati were the winners, but unfortunately the Kree got pissed and killed the Katati and the Skrulls. The Skrulls gave these guys a peaceful solution and it still ended up badly. That's crazy. So now the Kree and the Skrulls were mortal enemies and the Katati were dead. but not quite. Before they died, they planted seeds in the ground so that they could live on in the next generation. They de-evolved because of this, but they were able to go into hiding and perfect their telepathic abilities. With their safety ensured, they would go on to spread onto other planets, including Earth. Now, the Katali have reminded me that the MCU hasn't really dabbled in plant life that much. Groot is an entirely different species, and he's the only one with any plant-based origins. This is perfect material for the Guardians to explore. They even have a celestial messiah, who's the son of Mantis. They might not show up for this phase, or the next one, but fingers crossed for phase 8. And finally, we have the Beyonders. Now, I know what you're saying. What the hell do you mean Beyonders? There's a Beyonder, and you are correct. But the Beyonders are also a race of aliens that live in the beyond outside of the multiverse. Yeah, they were created by the Celestials, and their job is to maintain order in the multiverse from outside. They're like fictional gods in the way that they're not supposed to get involved in mortal affairs, but they do anyway. So because of them, some cosmic cubes exist. They're responsible for Molecule Man, and they even created the Library of Worlds, which is where they store everything they learn. Now, I can't give more than that because it is heavy spoiler territory. When Kang is finally out of the picture, I feel like the multiverse is going to be in such a state that the Beyonders have to undo the damage. And I really want to know their thoughts on all this. This is really bad. Do you want to jump in? Nah, I want to see what happens. Yeah, me too. Hey, do you think Noel will show up? He should, that guy means business. But I really want to see those Spider-Man villains join this universe. Yeah, but with their track record, they can stay over there. Yeah, that's true. Scarlet Witch or Black Widow? Black Widow. Jane Foster or Darcy Lewis? Darcy Lewis. She-Hulk or Gamora? She-Hulk. Eleanor Bishop or the Wasp? The Wasp. Lady Sif or Captain America? Captain America. Hey, yo! America's ass, America's ass. And we are done. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. My socials will be in the description. And please tell me, do you like any of these aliens? Which one is your favorite? What other aliens would you like to see in the MCU? Are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments.